Hello everybody. I think this thing is working. I got new software on here and some of this is I understand and some of it I don't, and so let's go get this posted on here and let's see what happens. Dun, dun, dun. Website's everything's very slow today. Let me come down here, link to join Monday. I put everything on to Monday, didn't I? Oh dear. Well, let's go down to Tuesday. Yeah, that's a huge mistake. Today's Tuesday already, so let's go into paste. Let's link here, and then I will explain to everybody what I goofed up here. Q, enter, edit, settings, open a new window, update, and update. So I put everything under Monday when I meant to put it under. I see what I was going to fix. All right, so we'll come back and straighten all this out. All right. Okay, so I should be able to view this page, leave page. Okay, and then I should be able to tweet here. Website is jollyrogerukulele.com / jollyrogerukulele.com, and then I'm going to put on I'll just use our let's go up, let's use that and we'll tweet there. Alright, so I got this tweeted, I got it posted on the website, I got all this stuff working, I think. And then we'll figure out how to deal with okay, so that I'll have to fix. For some reason thinks that I have bigger files than I do, so we got a lot of work to do to get all this going smooth. Hi everybody, running a bit late today. Sandy is in, sound is good. I think I have the ability to do this in real time. Cancel, go here, properties, advanced properties. I have the ability, I think, to turn up my microphone, Logitech camera, desktop audio. I'm going to try turning this up to 140%, and you guys will let me know if it makes any difference in the overall sound quality. Close. And right, so now I should be broadcasting at a slightly louder volume, theoretically, if I understand how this software works. By the way, today, guys, I posted the stuff under Monday when I meant to post it on Tuesday. So we're actually, while the link is on Tuesday, we're going to be playing the Monday stuff. So make sure you've downloaded or have access to look at the F major baritone and the B flat major ukulele documents. Those are new today, brand new today. Here, and we'll download those. Okay, and then we also, my intention, even though I have it on the wrong date, is to play Tonight You Belong to Me and I Will See You in My Dreams. So I'm going to go double check that I have those in the gadget here. Get out of this. I should, because we were playing them last week, right? Let me go here. Let's go to, baritone. Tonight You Belong to Me and I'll See You in My Dreams. So I have I'll See You in My Dreams, and alright, good. So first thing today, guys, let's go look at, we'll greet all of you in chat. I know I'm in a little bit late. Let's go look at ukulele version of the B flat arpeggio. Okay, and as you guys know, since there's mostly ukulele players here, we'll usually teach the song in the ukulele, and then baritone players, you're just paying attention, so that when it's your turn, you're going to use the exact same skill set in a different key. Sandy's in. She says sound is good. Bruce is in from Utah. 39 and cloudy. Sound is good. What are you doing in? Oh, I think you told us, Bruce. Glad you're in Utah. Lynn is in. Sunny and 50 out of New Jersey. Ronnie in from New Mexico. Aloha. Finally crossed the freezing temperature down there. That'll be their winter in New Mexico. Lindy is in from local. I have a day off. Yay, day off. I was like, yeah, what is she doing? She's supposed to be at work. Nancy's in. Beautiful down in Florida today. Carol, clouds heading over the mountains. 39 up in the mountains of Colorado. Evelyn, it's now raining in Cuenca. They're getting ready for Carnival down there in Cuenca. So we don't have that this year in the United States. Critter is here. She's also in Utah. I had a good week. I did. I got some stuff done. It's a little crazy here. Got to make so many changes in one weekend. Elizabeth, good afternoon. Warming up here in northern Colorado. Marianne in from Michigan. Shoveling is. I did have a good weekend. Thanks, Marianne. Jacqueline is in for local. Annie's local. Amy is local. Donna's local. Barbara's local. Local is Denver, by the way. Kari's here. Hey, Kari. Cindy. All the locals showed up at the same time. Jana's kind of local. She's in Sydney, Australia. So I consider her local these days. She's been around so much. Clay is in. Broke his finger. Or at least damaged it or did something. So Clay is not in good shape there in Northern California. Linda, welcome back. 48 degrees Fahrenheit up there. Yeah, so they got a little bit of snow in British Columbia as well. Pauline, it's good to be back. Good to see you. Ray, good to have you here. Valerie, Tin Pan Alley, more Tin Pan Alley this week. Hold on. Christine is here. Red is here. She sent me a sound machine, so that's the sound for Christine. Thanks, Red. Funniest thing we've got. Donna pressed all the buttons. Linda is in from Maui, 87 degrees in Maui, whatever. Cat's heater went out. Very, very cold here. -4. This is in Texas, by the way. -4. Heater went out. Repairman is in the house now. Whole unit has to be replaced. Why am I? so Cat's like, well, we have no heat. We have no heater. It's 4 degrees outside. I'm going to go play ukulele. All right. Did I travel? No, you're not allowed to travel, Kari. No, I don't. I'm not leaving the building until I get two shots in that arm, and then we're going to talk about going out and being face to face with somebody. No, we didn't get to go anywhere, unfortunately. Vicky, 40, partly cloudy, Bozeman, woohoo. I traveled from my Lazy Boy recliner to this chair and back. That was my travels. Caring for the grandkids while the parents are in Hawaii. Ah, pretty nice, Bruce. Heck yeah, that's a nice thing to do for them. Send them to Hawaii and you get the grandkids. Doesn't seem like a fair exchange, does it? Patty got her second shot in. Kari's got one down. All right, so little by little, gang, we're getting them in. Okay, many things to discuss very quickly, and I know you're here to play ukulele, but I always feel like I have to tell you what's going on. One, I have new software that's running the YouTube thing, and there's a lot to it. I am far away from learning how to use all of it, but it's going to give me a lot more flexibility and a lot more power to do presentations and all this stuff. I am being told that the sound seems a little quiet, and so I think I have found the setting to turn the sound up in the system. You may also need to turn your sound up at the house. I want to make sure that the sound is good and that the recordings are solid, so I'm messing around with that function a little bit here to see if I can get it as solid as I can for the videos that get on put into the archive. So let me know how the sound is working for you over here. Additionally, we have on the website, jollyrogerukulele.com, I have managed to get your stuff into the wrong date. So I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Of course, we didn't have class on Monday. So everything on Monday will be into Tuesday, everything on Tuesday will be in Wednesday, and everything on Wednesday will be on Thursday, and then Friday we'll play whatever that is. That means Dream a Little Dream of Me and Ghost of the Ukulele will get pushed off to somewhere else. I will tell you, Dream a Little Dream of Me is done, and it's super cute. Ghost of the Ukulele, it turns out, is a really, really unusual song. There's a reason why it's not famous. It's not... and so I typed the whole thing in. I'm like, I don't know if this is going to work at all. So that one may take a little bit more work to do. But it was a real song from 1916. Ukuleles were popular enough where somebody wrote a song about it. The recordings, there's one recording of it from back in the day, and it's very theatrical and all this stuff, very vaudevillian in its approach. And so I do want to do it with you eventually, but we'll put it off till a little bit later, maybe next week. This week we're wrapping up our Tin Pan Alley stuff, and for me, the big issue is I want to get you these arpeggios, and so I got you one today, and then I'm hoping to do one more this week. I don't want them to last forever, and so we got a lot of stuff this week. It feels kind of busy and a little crazy, but it's because we missed Monday. I guess it always feels busy and crazy, but we'll keep it moving forward. Donna says, sound is still a little low for me. I have my volume all the way up. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to be, like I say, this new software package is really sweet. I just don't know how to run all of the parts of it yet, so I'll be looking into that. And so let's go grab your B flat major arpeggio for ukulele, and then we'll play the same thing in a different key on baritone. Kat says, hey Gary, my frets are feeling sharp. Never had humidity problems here before. I've ordered a humidifier hoping to plump the wood back up. Do I need to do anything besides case humidifier? So, good morning, Melissa, or afternoon, Melissa. I want to talk to you guys, and I'm going to tell you some things that you're not going to hear anyplace else. You know that little humidifier that you stick down into the hole in your ukulele? That thing, okay, some of you are committed to them. There is one scientific study out there. It's hard to find on the internet. I found it one time and then I haven't been able to find it since, but there's one. Those things way over humidify this little section and don't do anything else for your ukulele. So those are not ideal. However, it's better than nothing, people say, and so they do it. You should know those little doodads that you stick down in here. I have seen those ruin several ukuleles when they break and water gets inside the ukulele. I saw a Kamaka get ruined that way, and there was many hundreds of dollars later that the poor young lady that happened to her dad had given her the ukulele, so she chose to spend the money to get it fixed. But be very mindful that those humidifiers are very, very dangerous for your instrument and may or may not do you any good. Second thing on those humidifiers is they do have the ones, the smaller ones that you just put up by your neck. Truthfully, those may be just as helpful as the one that sticks down in the hole. You should know I don't use any of that. But there's also the other side of this. When you are talking about humidifying a ukulele, you want to be mindful about how much work and how much investment you have. If your instrument is sentimental, you're willing to do whatever work it takes. If it's your grandfather's ukulele, obviously you're going to put some energy and time in it. But honestly, guys, if you have a $150 ukulele, I wouldn't be losing a lot of sleep over humidifying it. The sooner it breaks, the sooner you can get a good ukulele, and so I would just play it. And rather than humidify it, keeping it in a case is really, really important. Some of you like to hang your ukulele up on the wall because you've seen other people hang them up on the wall. I would not recommend doing that. The ones that I see that get hung up on the wall, eventually they fall off the wall and they break. They get covered in dust. It's really, the environment's not that great. The best place for your ukulele is in a case, in a closet probably, or at least out of the way from the kids and the dogs getting to it. The other thing about humidifying, and you should know this, I'm speaking one language and living another. I now have enough money in my ukulele collection and enough, sentimentality and a little bit of a financial commitment where I actually humidify a closet. I have a closet humidifier in there plugged in. Every night I go fill up that stupid humidifier and I keep that closet humidified. Over at the studio, I keep that place humidified as well. I gotta lug all this water up and down the stairs. Huge commitment. And so you need to think about, my ukulele cost me $150. Am I willing to be doing that for the rest of my days? You have to decide whether that's a valuable insight, a valuable use of your time. But you should know, here in this room I have a humidifier that runs, and then I have most of the instruments in the closet with a humidifier. So actually I have two humidifiers at this house plus one at the office, and it's in an attempt to humidify the entire environment, not just the individual thing. So I've seen too many tragedies with those little humidifiers, and so I think that you are probably need to think long and hard about whether you want to use one. If you choose to use one, just make sure you keep a really good eye on it, that it's staying that way. If you have, like Kat says, I have a pretty pricey one. I want to do the right things by it. Then, of course, you're thinking about, if I use that little thing, am I doing myself a favor or not? Ideally, you got a closet in your house, the one that's got a plug in, and don't get the humidifiers. It has to be the humidifier with the filter in it, because the ones that put out the white mist stuff, that white mist ends up on everything. That's not what you want. You want a normal humidifier with a filter in it. I guess I should post a little thing about this on our website. And then just humidify a closet, and you put it on low, and it takes every night you got to fill it up. But many of you live in humid climates, and then you have the opposite problem. You're going to get mold and stuff on your instrument. But in dry climates, I think the only solution, correct, the safe and consistent way to do that, is to humidify a small closet or a small area somewhere with a very inexpensive low output humidifier. In my mind, that's the only correct way to do this. But again, if you have a cheap instrument, you think about whether that's worth it. If you have an expensive instrument, and I do at this point, it's worth the effort and the time to do that. Final thought on that. If your ukulele is a laminate top, the chances of it cracking are almost zero, and so I certainly wouldn't waste a lot of time worrying about humidifying a laminate top. If it is a solid wood top, you probably have a little bit more, there's a lot more opportunity for it to crack, and so then I would probably want to humidify it. Last thought on that is about half of my instruments have cracked soundboards. They sound fine. It's not the end of the world if your soundboard cracks. So I don't spend a lot of time worrying about that. And then what's the other thing that goes along with that? The real issue that Kat brought up initially is your frets along here. If you run your fingers along here, if they're kind of scratchy, like catching and stuff, that will not be fixed by humidification. It won't be. It won't plump back up as Kat is suggesting. You really do need to take a sanding block and you just run it along here. You want a not heavy coarse sanding block, the kind on a sponge. You can get them at Ace Hardware, and you just run it along here. If you're scared, you put a little tape on the back side of this, put a little tape on the front here, but you just use a little sanding block to knock off the edges. I'd have to do it on 100% of the instruments that come into my studio. These instruments are built in usually Indonesia somewhere, China's often, and they're built next to the ocean, so they can ship them to the United States. Very wet climate, they build them, and then when they come through California, a dry area, and into wherever you live, these necks shrink a little bit, and they won't shrink. They won't reinflate in a wet climate. They shrink permanently, and so you just take a sanding block and just knock the edges off. If you take it into any guitar shop, the guy is probably going to be willing to do that for you for nothing. And so I would. So that's something. But every single ukulele, no matter what price point they come into the studio, I end up dressing the fret ends a little bit. And so just know, Kat, and those of you who have that, if you reach along here and you feel, it's kind of sticking out a little bit, you really are going to have to dress those fret ends with the sanding block. And again, just use the sponge block. You don't need a real coarse one. I have them in various grades at the studio. If it's real bad, like a banjolele's from the 20s, it's always really bad, and I need to really get after them. But most of the modern ukuleles, just a medium grade sanding block and go along there, and it will solve that stickiness. And you do want to fix it because it'll catch your sweater, it'll catch your shirt and all that stuff, catch your fingers on here, and so that's one of those things that you do need to do. And so, Critter, I think I answered your question. What about a room humidifier? That's the best choice. That's what you should probably do. And Kat says, with her more expensive Conalea, she really is thinking, hey, man, I do need to do something. And especially, Kat, I know you live in East Texas, so it's more humid there, but even everybody in the winter, when it's cold out, the humidity drops to basically zero, and then you got to be thinking about, all right, should I be humidifying this? In the summertime, I don't humidify here in Colorado. We have enough humidity naturally in the air. Your goal is about 40 to 50%, and here's my humidifier sitting at 44%. Probably if you get a closet humidifier or a small room humidifier, you're going to also want to get a meter. This is called Accurite. I got it off of Amazon. But 50 is ideal. 40 to 50 is ideal. I happen to be lucky at this moment. It's running at 46. So that's just generally the area that I have here. So that's a lot about humidifying. Hopefully that's helpful, guys. Been using the Bovida packs in my case. My place is super dry, 19% last week. Yeah. So again, if you use those little doodads that go in your case or in the hole of your instrument, it's okay. Just be really careful to monitor those, because when they break, they fill your ukulele up with water, and guess what? Then the back cracks off, and you have a whole separate, much far more expensive issue than it would have been just to buy a regular humidifier. Critter says, down here in a house humidifier for the great room for my... Okay, so she got a whole room humidifier. That's ideal. And average humidity 15 to 7. Yeah, Southern California, no humidity down there. Probably going to need to do something. And again, just be wise about it. It's a lot of work to keep them humidified. And if you are thinking, I got a $150 instrument and I'm going to be humidifying a whole room, all right. So hopefully that's helpful. Gave you a little discussion about that. I will tell you that I think the amount of work I put into humidifying did not start until I ended up with a significant amount of decent instruments, and I think at the guitar shop they want to sell you this little doodad that goes in here. They're desperate to sell you that. It costs you about $24. They pay about $1.50 for those, and there's good profit in that, so they really want to sell you that at the music shop. And whereas the ukulele itself that you bought, they made about the same amount of profit on that as they'll make on the little doodad that goes in there. So just know when you're talking to your local music shop that they may not know about the fact that that thing may or may not do at all what you think it needs to do. All right. End of discussion on humidification, and again, and on the fret ends. And then obviously, if I was confusing or you're like, I'm not sure I understood what he said, send me an email. Let me make sure I'm clear for what you need in your situation. Let's talk about this arpeggio. When I first started playing, obviously B flat was like you. I was having a heck of a time with it, and I needed to write an arpeggio out where I could actually have a chance to hear my B flat and make sure I was getting it clean and pretty. So on this one, what you will notice is there's not a ton of strumming B flats. There is a ton of plucking parts of the B flat. So as you put your B flat on, and baritone players, you'll have the exact same skill set, just in a different key. So we'll study the skill set here first, and then we'll play it on both instruments. You're in the key of F, but it's the same concept. You're going to put this B flat on. Now, as I've talked about a lot, I would much rather you learn to do your B flat with a full bar, because you're also going to be doing this bar, and this bar, and this bar, and what other bars? You're going to be doing this bar, and you're going to be doing... Well, that's the main bars you have to do that are actual bars, and they a lot of times go together. If you're playing an A flat or E flat, its friend is B flat, right? And so this A flat is going to be something you need to do, and it's just easier to slide your full bar around. That's why we spend a lot of time working on full bar work. With this B flat, however, you can get away with just covering 2 strings, middle and ring. Okay, that's one of the things you can do with B flat. Is when you watch me play, most of the time I do it this way, because this is how back in the day when I was trying to learn how to play, this is how I discovered most people do it, and most people to this day, that's how you do B flat. But if you're brand new, or if you're trying to up your game a little bit, play it with a full bar. I think it'll help. Okay, so Ballerina, there are lots of homemade ways of humidifying your case. And again, just be careful. If you get water on your ukulele, you get to go to the repair shop. And most ukuleles, guys, are not worth repairing. Most of them. Okay, I get them in. I got a mandolin in over the weekend. I took a picture of it. I was going to show you guys. This mandolin, Hildegard down the hall. She says, "Oh, it's a great. This is the greatest mandolin ever," and it wasn't. But that's I got. Let's see if I can get this where it doesn't reflect real bad. don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see pretty good. Reflection's terrible, but over the weekend, this came in. It was all in pieces, and I glued it. Had to repair the thing from top to bottom on it. Anyway, it came out. It's playable now. But the truth is, this mandolin was not worth the effort and time that I had to put into it. It took me. It didn't come in. I finished it over the weekend. I've had it for several weeks working on it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. That it will never sound good like a modern one and all that stuff. So the problem with ukuleles is that they're the same situation. Even if you have a good one, $400, $500, $600, if the back comes off, guess what? It's $400, $500, $600 to put the back on, and it's just not worth it. B flat, thumb, index, middle, ring. See those first two measures? What am I really working on here? You think you're working on an arpeggio. Well, that's not really what you're working on. You're working on getting this B flat on correctly and then making sure each note is clean. The arpeggio in and of itself isn't very interesting, but this business of getting each note clean, because more than likely you're getting something like... And that's something we want to work on as instrumentalists, is getting enough hand strength where we can get all these things down clean. Okay, Carol, it is entirely possible there are typos on that, and I'll have to go in and double check. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so there's your B flat. So let's work on the ukulele one first, and then we'll fix the baritone one. Okay, so there's the B flat. You're trying to get all those notes clean. E flat shows up. This isn't particularly common chord that we're going to use, but it'll come up enough where you probably should know it. Okay, and it's just once, and then back to your B flat. Okay, so it's a two. It's A B A. Two B flats, an E flat, and back to B flat. A lot of people don't necessarily know their F sharps just off the top of their head. It's an F7, sorry. You get your F chord, add your ring finger. From Love Me Tender, remember. And then back to your B flat. Okay, and then make sure, now as arpeggio players, you're going to start needing to pay attention to the standard notation as well, because there's a dotted quarter note, and your tendency is to just get, to be, I'm in this pattern, and then you gets goofed up there at the end of major 7 because you got a dotted quarter. Let it ring for the 2 beats. Now you go to G minor. G minor we've used a lot over the last few months. I mean, this comes up a lot. It was all over in the Bach piece. Okay, and this is my tendency, right? I got to keep, but the pattern has changed. Now, watch what happens in this pattern. We're going to put the G minor on. Bum, 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 ba, da, da. C chord, and you're only going to play the upper 3 strings. Bum, bum. Timing is everything here, because you're used to all these eighth notes, and now you've got dotted quarter notes. Bum, bum. Be patient. Bum, 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 ba-da, bum, ba-da, bum. Let it ride. Then grab your F7, ba-da-da, and you're going to have to lift up your ring finger to get that 0. Put it back, and then back to your B flat. Okay, that's that. The timing on that is everything. Not everything. It's a lot of it. Okay, major 16, this shape, G minor shape, baritone drum, D minor shape. Not yet. You will be. Ba, ba, da, bum, ba, da, dum, and then C minor, ba, da, 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 D minor, ba, da, 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 G minor. Okay, isn't that beautiful? All that fits together. And notice we're playing in B flat, but we've started in that section. G minor is the leader, right? So if we're in B flat, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay, so there's your E flat and your F7. And guess what's hanging out over here? G minor. Okay, when I start a section with G minor, guess what happens? It becomes 1, G, A, B. Guess what shows up? C minor and D minor. They show up just like you would expect. So 1, 4, 5 even though we're playing in B flat major as the major key, its minor friend G minor can also be used as a 1-4-5, its own little section. So the G, C, G fit together. And those of you who like writing songs, which is probably none of you, there's one of you out there. I'm writing in G minor and it sounds really sad no matter what I do. Okay, so minor keys. By the way, those of you who are songwriters or want to be songwriters or are going to come be a composer, minor keys, ukulele's waiting for you. I wrote an entire musical all in minor keys on ukulele using William Blake poetry, and it's still one of those things that I am positive is the best thing I ever wrote from a musical perspective that has zero interest. So, you know, what are you going to do? It was fun. Measure 20, we got the double bar, new idea. Same pacing as previous, just different chords, right? So grab your B flat and go from 20. Go. The 3, you're going to have to use your pinky. Okay, go grab your E flat. And then the melody changes just a little bit here. And then 3, 3, 1. You got a tied note there, so let that run. It's going to actually end up being 4 eighth notes. The 8th note at the end of 23 plus 3 more 8th notes in 24. And then grab your ones. Okay, and then grab your F7. Ring finger and B flat. Then we're going to go back. Notice here, there's where your yellow highlighter comes in. At the end of 27, you're going to go back to 8, not to 1. So put your yellow highlighter on at measure 8. Otherwise, you'll go back to number 1. And then to finish up, we've got one more musical thought here. You're in F7 at measure 28, F7. Wrap it up with your B. Back to the F7, but look what the sheet music says. PP. That means as quiet as you possibly can play and still be heard. Okay, so high drama there, and it's just very simple. No, there's some dynamics. I don't put a ton of dynamics into my own writing on ukulele because ukulele, frankly, doesn't have that great of dynamics in the first place. But in this case, you're busy playing along, having a great time. You get to that last measure. Okay, so just to be kind of drama. Okay, now let's go back and double check. Baritone players, you're playing B flat, right? You're playing A flat. I'm sorry, E flat. You are playing F7, baritone F7, baritone here, baritone, D, E, G7. Oh, you got your E7, right? E7 right here. So there, okay, and that's basically it. Here's your C minor, okay. If you don't know these chords, they're going to get messier and messier as we go along. And I normally know most of them. Baritone I get a little iffy on some of the less used ones, and we will be doing more and more of that. I'm not going to go write your chords down on any of these baritone players onto the ukulele music. They just won't fit, or I don't know. It just feels like something that you should be in the process of working on. If you're a baritone player, you want to know what a B flat looks like. You want to know what an E flat looks like. You want to know what your F7 looks like. And so you may need to go through and hand write in some notes to remind you on the more complicated chords. And they will get much more complicated the further down the list we go. And so have an app, have a chord chart. I haven't done the one for baritones for us that just 2 pieces of or 4 pieces of paper. It takes a long time to do that. But you should have on your phone something to help you with, and eventually I will have you a real baritone chord chart. But until then, you got to be looking some stuff up, right? Let's play it. Baritone players, do what you can with the accompaniment. I know you just got the paper, so you probably aren't quite ready for it. Ukulele players, let's make this happen. I'll count in 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. the drama, then back to 8, go. All right. The purpose of that, again, it's an okay song. It's fine, but it's really every note getting clean. That's hard to do, and that's exactly where I was as a player. Probably, likely, where you are as a player as well. If you've been playing less than 2-3 years, is trying to just really focus in on playing clean in that relatively difficult chord structure. And what will happen is if you can get this one clean, the other ones are going to start to follow a lot of that same idea. Now, let's go grab the baritone one. Carol is indicating I've made an error. I've got the wrong B flat chord, measure 3. That should look like a, the chord diagram is incorrect, so I will fix that. Thank you, Carol. So the E flat chord diagram is incorrect. Other than that, we'll find out how it plays. So, ukulele players, you are our accompaniment now. Now you have a little bit easier go because you know these chords. Okay, you're going to be playing a regular F chord. You're going to be playing a regular B flat in measure 3. You have the correct chord shape there. C7. Okay, that's your. That's, you know, C, and there's your C7, right? D minor, we already just did that in the last last presentation, is there. G minor is here, and that maybe, is that all the chords? I think that's all the chords. So, you know, you're really only dealing with a handful of chords, but boy, there's a lot of music that comes out of them, okay? So let's play the baritone version of it. Ukulele players, you're going to back us up. Let me make sure this guy was having a hard time staying in tune earlier. And so we've got one chord that's a typo on here. Just make sure, baritone players, when you get to the B flats, you're actually playing your B flat shape and not continuing on with your F shape. And I will update that and have that reposted today. All right, from the top. 1, 2. I'll count in 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. dramatic on baritone. Makes you want to buy a baritone, right? Yeah, a lot of times, when especially in minor chords, when you hit something dramatic, D minor sounds particularly good on a baritone. Oh my God, something terrible, tragic is about to happen, right? All right, so I got a couple of chord grids to fix on that, but other than that, that plays just fine. So I'll repost these. I'll repose it with the updated chord grid. So if you have a baritone version, just throw that one away, and I'll give you the better one tomorrow. All right, so there we go. Another etude. Again, the purpose of that is not to play the etude at some stellar level. Yes, it is. It's always anything that Gary wrote, you should play at a stellar level. But the but more important goal is to get the notes clean. And this is, you know how when you're like, okay, I can do the C major arpeggio. That's not too bad. Oh, G's kind of hard. F's really hard. B flat. Oh my gosh, right? And so it does start to become a little bit more predictability in the level of pain that you're going to be feeling. And what will happen is your knowledge of your chord sets will really go way up. Your right hand skills are going to go way up. You're going to build this strength in this hand much quicker doing this. And if I could talk every single ukulele player into working their way from the front of this book to the back of this book, I know we would no longer have to worry about somewhere over the rainbow anymore, because all of you guys would be like, you know what, we're gonna play at this next level because that's the good level. All right, let's see. Carol says it's really beautiful. Thank you, Carol. I think it is nice, and love playing duets with your baritone. Isn't that fun? It's one more way to play, and as you guys know, it's been my ongoing mission to find every possible way to play the ukulele, and I think I've found most of them, but I want you guys to feel like, hey, I can do all those things too. And so beautiful. Let's see how we doing on time. That's it for the day. All right, here's the deal. So because I got the schedule all messed up, and we talked a little bit a while about humidifying. It's not unimportant, so kind of messed up today. But tomorrow, what we will do, we won't play the arpeggio tomorrow. We will play Tonight You Belong to Me, I'll See You in My Dreams. We'll try to get to If You Knew Susie, and maybe It's Only a Paper Moon. But we will play... Am I looking at the right list? I'm looking at the right list. So tomorrow, we will just play the Tin Pan Alley tunes. Tonight You Belong to Me, I'll See You in My Dreams, and If You Knew Susie, and maybe It's Only a Paper Moon. We won't get to more than 4. Usually we can get to 2 or 3. And so we'll play through all that stuff tomorrow, both ukulele version and baritone version, so make sure you got those printed out and in your book. As far as I know, they're pretty clean. I don't think there's a ton of changes to the sheet music, but we'll find out, of course, tomorrow. And then we will work, let's see, so Thursday we will work back in the arpeggio with the revised chord chart in preparation for Friday, and on Friday we'll play this arpeggio, make a better bar, and then as much of the Tin Pan Alley stuff as we can get to. And so we have another week of Tin Pan Alley on accident, along with a couple of a couple of new arpeggios, and lots of chords, guys. So obviously be digging in and making sure you have all your chords done. Today was very technical. It's a good reminder of why we need a 4-day break once in a while from each other. And this is hard, high level, really complicated stuff, and hopefully you're finding it meaningful. I do know it will make you a better player, and it will make you a more knowledgeable musician. And then tomorrow we'll have some fun. So there we go. You guys have a wonderful day, and that's all I know about ukulele. So Cindy says I'll see you tomorrow. Ronnie is in. Have a warm day. I know. We're fine in here in Denver. Pauline, you're welcome. Annie, good to see you. Gracias to you. And Carol, you bet. And there we go. That's what I know. Jacqueline, good to see you. See you tomorrow, Lynn. Amy, I'll see you. It's interesting. This new software makes the delay much more dramatic. So I've been done teaching this for a while, and then finally. Linda, good to see you. I'm delighted that just so jealous of where you live. Patricia, good to see you. Kat, good luck on that heating system. Oh my gosh. Elizabeth, good to see you. Clay, hope you're feeling better. Take care of that hand. Janice, you're welcome. Ray, this is a lot today. I think this is your first day up in the Tuff-er class. Glad you're here. Okay, good to see you. Good. Kay sneaks in and out. Can't ever tell if she's here or not. Good to see you, Kay. Linda. Okay, you're welcome. See you tomorrow. Get that arm feeling better. All right, I'm going to pull the plug. You guys have a wonderful day. Have a good one. Oh, not till tomorrow, huh, Kat? No heat till tomorrow. Brutal. Kari, good to see you. Have a great day, you guys.